these two islands, it's Friday on this island and Saturday on the other, although they are a few kilometers apart. I booked a flight from Los Angeles to Fiji on the 18th and arrived in Fiji on the 20th, which means that the 19th was lost on my way there because I crossed the international date line, which if you cross it from the east to west, you add a date to the calendar of the country that is west of that line. So, when I crossed this zigzag, caused by the country I'm heading to, Kiribati, I entered the next day and then went back to the previous day, and then entered again the next day.
And by crossing the international date line, arrive in San Francisco the night before.
This is the international date line, an imaginary line running from the North and South Poles through the Pacific Ocean. This line roughly matches the Greenwich Meridian in London on the other side.
Whereas most of the time zones differ from their neighbors by plus or minus 1 hour.
Every city or time zone on Earth can be timed relative to the Greenwich Meridian. The time is calculated in this way. For example, Riyadh is 3 hours ahead of London time. When it's 9 a.m. in London, it's 12 p.m. in Riyadh. And so on. The further the cities are from London, the greater the difference in hours, until it reaches a maximum of plus 12 to the east and minus 12 to the west. When you head east from London, the hours increase until you reach Japan, then New Zealand. And then you reach the last country, Kiribati, the first country where the sun rises.
We are minus 14, so Christmas Island, which is south of Hawaii. So that's so every single time at midnight, that's Kiribati. Starting 1 minute past midnight is always going to be Kiribati.
When you head west of London to the US, then the state of Hawaii, you will find that the time is 12 hours behind London until you reach this curved line, because these countries chose to be close to America's time, while countries on this line want to be close to Australia and Japan's time, because there's an entire day difference between these two lines, 24 hours, although it was 10 a.m. here, but when I crossed from the east, I reached 10 a.m. the next day. Even when you look at Alaska and Russia, you'll see the line passing between them. These two islands, it's Friday on this island and Saturday on the other, although they are a few kilometers apart. As for Samoa, the American Samoa Island decided to stay with the American time, while the other decided to stay with Australia. The time became different in the same country, although they're just 15 minutes away by plane. But the time is special in Kiribati.
Because Kiribati is the only country which is in 4 hemispheres. And for the date line, it was crazy, because we had a date line going right through the middle of our country. So one day it was Monday and the other day it was Sunday. So it's really hard if you're going to call somebody on the weekend. It's probably their weekend, but you're now working because it's now Monday, and it's the same country. So it was crazy.
What did you do?
So they moved it.
So you pushed the line for 2 hours extra?
We didn't really push the line. We just made the line go around the country.
In 1995, they decided to push the line to the right because they didn't want part of the country to be a day ahead of the rest of the country. So the time on Christmas Island in Kiribati became plus 14.
But you got to think about it this way. Kiribati is where every single day starts. Number one. So every day starts in Kiribati.
And thus Kiribati became the first country to welcome the new year. The location of the line is subject to change. It's up to the country and which time zone it wants to adopt to serve its interests. Look what's written here. Fiji. The country's name is Fiji. The most exported product in the world is not oil, but water. They call it the water of the rich. It comes from this island, named Viti Levu, where the capital, the city of Nadi, and an international airport are located. Fiji isn't my destination. Fiji is a stopover. We're heading to another country, a country that will soon be drowned. Let's go see it. I will book a ticket to Kiribati. Fiji Airways has 3 scheduled flights to Kiribati weekly. Look how expensive the ticket is from Nadi to Tarawa. $2,000 for the ticket. This is the most expensive economy ticket I've ever booked. I've booked to Kiribati. I hope it's worth it.